I'm 19 years old, married, no degree, no 9 to 5.
I'm 37. I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 10 plus years.
I got engaged at 18, married at 19.
2 weeks ago, he told me that he wants to move forward with divorce.
I didn't go to college.
I have no income.
I don't have a job.
I have no money.
And I'm not getting one.
I use my husband's credit card and I use my husband's...
If your frontal lobe isn't even preheated yet, you shouldn't be a stay-at-home anything. Go outside. Go to school. I'm begging you bitches to go to college. Just a concept of a degree, please.
I do think that we have to pay careful attention to what is being sold to us here. As someone who talks a lot about the Christian patriarchy movement, which emerged out of the 1980s, I'm seeing that kind of patriarchal messaging all over the place in our contemporary culture.
So this 19-year-old lady came online to tell us that she's 19 years old, married, no degree, no 9 to 5, and she's exactly where she wants to be. Well, that's fine. But my question is, why are you telling us? Why do we have to know? But anyways, I'm just going to show you her video, and I'm going to show you a few videos of what other people have to say.
I'm 19 years old, married, no degree, no 9 to 5, and I'm exactly where I want to be. Let me answer all your questions. Yes, I got engaged at 18, married at 19. I didn't go to college. I don't plan to. I don't have a degree. I don't have a job, and I'm not getting one. I love to cook for my husband. I love to host. I love to run our home. These are things I'm very passionate about. I get asked about this a lot, but me and my husband dated for 6 weeks before getting engaged. And I didn't have a wedding. We opted out of the whole big wedding thing. I got married at my husband's house with 20 people. Now, personally, I think wedding culture has gotten so out of hand and people are getting married for the party. When I was a little girl and I dreamed of my wedding day, I dreamed of being married, not being in a big gown. And I didn't do that. I got married in a dress that I picked up from Bloomingdale's the day before for $200. I got married to build a life with my husband, the man that I love, not for the party. We made the decision to go on a 2-month honeymoon instead and make lifelong memories that I will savor forever. Also, yes, me and my husband do have an age gap. He is 10 years older than me. A lot of people seem to think I got married for religious reasons. That's not true. Yes, I'm religious. I'm not that religious. I chose to get married young because I wanted to. And I'm told by a lot of people that I should be young and out there and living my life. I don't know what that means. I promise you I am living my life to the fullest in my faithful marriage. Anyways, that's a little bit about me and my life. I hope I answered all your questions. 19 years old, married, no degree, no 9 to 5.
I'm 37. I've been a stay-at-home mom for the past 10 plus years.
I got engaged at 18, married at 19.
2 weeks ago, he told me that he wants to move forward with divorce.
I didn't go to college.
I have no income.
I don't have a job.
I have no money.
And I'm not getting one.
I use my husband's credit card and I use my husband's money.
Yes, me and my husband do have an age gap.
I'm 37. He'll be 55 in March.
He is 10 years older than me.
And I married an older man thinking that he was ready for marriage and settle down.
Me and my husband dated for 6 weeks before getting engaged.
I use an American Express credit card for everything. It's got my name on it, but obviously he pays the bill.
And I'm told by a lot of people that I should be young and out there and living my life.
And he said, you need to start using your own card now. What card?
I don't know what that means.
I don't have a card. That is my card.
I promise you I am living my life to the fullest in my faithful marriage.
I don't know how to take care of myself.
I'm 19 years old, married, no degree, no 9 to 5.
I don't, like, it's just terrifying.
And I'm exactly
No,
where
we're not ready for the matriarchy yet because these women are not listening to the lived experiences of hundreds of thousands of women who came before them. These teenagers who became stay-at-home wives and girlfriends are on their platforms getting millions of views and telling people that this is the lifestyle they chose and they love it. Many women with experience who are older, who have gone through divorces, who have been stay-at-home wives and stay-at-home girlfriends are commenting and telling them this is dangerous and you can do better than what happened to me. And none of these women are listening. Having the privilege of having the wisdom of thousands of women who have been through more life experiences than you in your comments, warning you about the dangers of marriage too young and not getting your degree and not having a bank account and not having marketable skills. They're just taking it for granted. Honestly, if it's me and I'm getting hundreds of thousands of comments warning me of something, I'm going to listen. I'm going to take a step back and maybe all of these women know something that I don't. And the common denominator with these stay-at-home wives and girlfriends behind me is that they will say, well, divorce isn't an option for us. My husband would never do that to me. My husband would never leave me. My husband would never leave me without money. Statistically, at least 3 are gonna get divorced. I just wish these women knew if he can feed you, he can starve you. I believe everybody should have the freedom to live their life the way that they want, but I just think historically, when we know what women go through, when we know the dangers of being a stay-at-home wife and not having a plan in place for when things go wrong is so dangerous. And I just wish that I could help every single one of these teenagers, by the way. Most of them are 19.
Across this video in your feed of a 19-year-old wife who says that she has no higher education, no job, no plans to get one, and that she's exactly where she wants to be. Took a little bit of time to peruse her page. She talks about how her husband is 10 years older than her. She shows the Chanel shoes and the designer bags that he's purchased for her. Her life looks very beautiful, but of course it's not realistic whatsoever. The reality of being married at 19 in the United States with no college education and no job is not endless designer hauls. It's closer to a 60% divorce rate. Now, of course, influencer content is first and foremost entertainment to sell you a product, and I'm not looking to a 19-year-old on this platform to give me a completely realistic depiction of their life and their marriage, but I do think that we have to pay careful attention to what is being sold to us here. As someone who talks a lot about the Christian patriarchy movement which emerged out of the 1980s, I'm seeing that kind of patriarchal messaging all over the place in our contemporary culture. It used to be that you had to go in person to lectures and conferences held by Bill Gothard and Doug Phillips and these men who brought Christian patriarchy to the Christian fundamentalist subculture of the 80s, 90s, and 2000s. Today, you can just log onto this app and see a video made by Savannah Faith Stone, an influencer who says that women should no longer have the right to vote. I grew up in and around the world of Christian patriarchy and fundamentalism, and while that was not a part of my family experience, I was around the subculture enough that it certainly had an enormous impact on me and the way that I thought about marriage and motherhood. I'm in the middle of writing a book right now about the women who were raised in this movement and the kinds of lives that they lived. Often, many of them did get married at 19, or they stayed in their family's household until their families decided that they were old enough to finally be given in marriage to someone of their family's choosing. And the reality of life for these young wives looked like being trapped in marriages that were abusive, with no way to leave, with no way to make income. It looked like not having a driver's license or access to a car. It looked like being solely financially dependent upon a man who you could not trust to have your best interests.
19 years old, married, no degree, no 9 to 5, and I'm exactly where I want to be.
I find this deeply terrifying, and I'm gonna explain why.
Yes, I got engaged at 18, married at 19. I didn't go to college. I don't plan to. I don't have a degree. I don't have a job, and I'm not getting one.
That's the part that scares me. So I watched some of her other videos, and it does look like this woman, Ava, this girl, she's 19, this girl, Ava, it looks like she came from money. So what I'm about to say may not apply to her. Let's pretend she didn't come from money. What happens if one day her husband wakes up and decides he doesn't want to be with her anymore, or he leaves, or he dies? She doesn't have a job. She doesn't have a college degree. It's clear that she's not involved in their finances. That is so much vulnerability. Like, she looks happy, that's awesome. This isn't a video bashing on stay-at-home moms. Truly, my concern is someone who is exclusively financially dependent on a partner and literally rely on their partner to be okay. What happens if her husband isn't there for her one day and she has no education, no job, no work experience, and is like completely alone and isolated in this big world that eats up women? And I'm saying that because I have seen videos of women get on this app talking about how their husband paid for everything and they never paid attention to the finances. They were completely financially dependent on their husband. And then their husband divorced them. And it was this woman talking about how scared she was because she didn't have a degree, she didn't have an education, she didn't have a career, she didn't have anything to fall back on. She was completely isolated and had no support because her husband was her only source of income. My concern with this type of content is how many young girls are seeing this and are like, oh, I can get married at 19. I can get married to my boyfriend. My boyfriend can propose to me. Everything will be fine because this girl's doing it and she seems fine. But we cannot and should not be normalizing this type of behavior. Complete dependency on another person. No investment in yourself. Because then at the end of the day, you are just lost if something happens to your partner. You are not a human. You're just dependent on someone else.
19 years old, married, no degree, no 9 to 5, and I'm exactly where I want to be.
There are several things wrong with this video, apart from the obvious, and we're going to get into that. But first and foremost, I want to say that this makes me feel such a deep sadness for young women in 2026, right? Because between videos like this and those women at the Republican convention saying that they would be perfectly fine giving up the right to vote and letting their husbands like vote on behalf of the household, I can't help but think about how many women around the world would give anything for the rights that so many of us take for granted, right? The right to vote, the right to advocate for ourselves, the right to speak and to be heard and to make decisions about our own lives. And what makes this video even more like unsettling is that she never really gave herself a chance to discover who she could be outside of this relationship, right? Like she's 18, 19 years old. Her husband is more than a decade older than she is. She said that they got married in less than what, like 6 weeks? And now here she is smiling, mind you, while celebrating the idea of handing over her autonomy. And look, I believe that she's exactly where she wants to be, okay? I have no doubt about that. And you know what? That's her choice. But that's also just part of what makes me so sad for her. Because at 18 or 19 years old, most people haven't even begun to figure out who they are, right? They haven't explored different careers or gone to school, traveled or lived on their own or built something for themselves, anything for themselves, or experienced enough of the world to know what possibilities exist in it. And before anybody says that, like, I'm attacking stay-at-home moms, that is not what this is about, right? First of all, plenty of stay-at-home moms that I know had careers, went to school, built lives of their own first, or made the best of circumstances that they didn't choose, okay? This isn't about being a wife or a stay-at-home mother. This is about never giving yourself the opportunity to become your own person first, right? And all I'm going to say is if you're going to get online and tell women that they should have less autonomy, less independence, say less, have less say over their own lives, then don't be surprised when people say if that's what you believe, that women shouldn't have any life outside of their husbands. I'm not sure why you're talking to us. I'm not sure why you're saying anything on the internet. Maybe next time you have an opinion, you should ask your husband to tell us it on your behalf.
I'm seeing a bunch of videos on my For You page where it's a bunch of girls who are 19 years old literally talking about being a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home girlfriend for their fuck-ass boyfriend. And I'm here to tell you right the fuck now, you need to leave. Because I was one of those girls at 19, and it is the biggest mistake I ever fucking made. I got $5,000 taken away from me that I will never fucking see again. He was physically and verbally abusive to me, and financially abusive, hence why I'm $5,000 in fucking debt. And you might be sitting there thinking, oh no, my man would never do that to you. You want to know who was saying the same shit? Me. I'm fortunate enough and I got out of that shit at 21 years old. Some women stay in it and they're completely fucked. However, throughout the time I did experience homelessness. It was horrible. It's just you are experiencing so much life that you do not need to be going through at the ripe age of 19 years old. And you will basically be sitting there being someone's fucking mommy. And that just, no. Whenever me and him initially moved in together, I did not have a job. I actually was just a full-time student. And thank God I had school. Because some of these girls are talking about I'm not going to school, I don't have a job, bitch, what the fuck? But I went one very long month of my life where I didn't have a job and I just stayed at home and I cooked and cleaned and I got so fucking bored that I ended up taking on a job and I also ended up adopting a dog. Which don't fucking do that, by the way. Do not get a pet with your partner. Don't do that. Look, all that ends up happening to you whenever you are in a relationship like that where your partner has the financial upper hand, they will use that against you at any given point they possibly can. And even if they don't, you know deep down inside, if something goes on in that relationship, you don't have anywhere else to go or anything to do. And some of you might be like, well, I'll just move back in with my parents. But trust me, that's a lot easier said than done because I said the same shit. And guess what? I did do the same thing. There's so much more to your life than a man. There's so much more to your life than staying at home and cooking and cleaning and taking care of a child. You are worth so much fucking more than that. If I had known what I know right now at 19, I would have ran for the motherfucking hills when that piece of shit would have came to my face. I think if you are going to move in with a significant other at 19 years old, you should have a job and you should be at school and you should have an emergency savings account. For those girls out there who don't have any of those, you are going to be fucked when they choose themselves over you. And I'm going to let you know right now that they will pick themselves over you because they will think that they are better than you. So please take my advice. It was one of the worst decisions I ever made. I'm 21 now. I live on my own. I have a wonderful apartment. I have a wonderful job. I just got my bachelor's degree. I have 2 dogs that I love so much. You do not have to have your entire life revolve around a man. You are worth more than that. You're too beautiful for any of that, and you're too young for any of that shit too.
When you're 30 and he leaves you and he cuts off all of your access to money, and resources and threatens to take your children from you that you have been the full-time caregiver of all of this time, I will be here. Now you're going to have no access to money, so you're going to have to either reach out to a domestic violence group for housing and shelter and resources. You're going to have to hope that you have family and friends that you can rely on who can pay for a lawyer and pay for your daily expenses. At the same time, because you've never been employed before, you're going to have to get your skills up to par, and you're going to have to go out and get a job because you're not going to get money right away from the other parent. Spousal support and child support can sometimes take a year to get resolved. While you may think that it's a fairy tale right now and everything is going to be perfect, I see you in your 30s. You come to me in your 30s and we work on rebuilding your life and securing time with your children and protecting them from harm. And the entire time you're going to wish that you just waited a little longer until your brain was more developed to make a big decision like this.
I think at this point we need to start just letting people make stupid ass decisions for themselves and not try to help them, because these people don't want help. In the past couple of days, I've seen maybe like 10 plus videos of girls who are under the age of 20 who are talking about, oh, I'm married and I never went to college and I have blah, blah, blah babies. Or maybe some of them don't have babies, but still. And whenever I see that, it makes people so mad. It makes everybody so mad. I don't know why they can't just respect my decision. Everybody's allowed to make their own choices. Like, yes, that is true. You're allowed to make your own choices, but does that mean people are gonna just idly sit by and watch you make stupid ass choices that are probably going to be bad for your life and your future? Like, no. But no matter who says what, they're gonna stand 10 toes down in the comments, and the only one getting mad is me. So I don't even want to engage with it anymore. I don't even care. Make your dumb decisions.
There have been so many stories. So I am so confused as to why this lady think is a good idea for her to come online to tell us that she's 19, she doesn't have a degree, she's married, she's exactly what she wants to be. Good for you. You know, I'm glad that you find exactly what you want to be, but like, why are you on the internet telling complete total strangers about you getting married at 18 and you are exactly where you want to be? If you are that happy about where you are, why do you feel the need for other people to know about it? You know, like, why? What can we do for you? We can't do anything for you. You are exactly where you want to be. I'm pretty sure you've seen a lot of videos about people being homeless, broke, and divorced after being with a man for so long and them not working. You know, I'm pretty sure you put this video up because you know it's going to start a conversation about it's going to get attraction from people and them giving you advice about how terrible of an idea they think that is. You know, I'm pretty sure you know all of that because you've seen this kind of videos before you put your video out. So to me, is either you are looking for engagement on your page, you're looking for followers, you're hoping you go viral, which you have. To my young ladies out there that probably seen her video or will come across this video, please do not follow what she's doing. Even if you're going to get married young, it's okay if you get married young. Don't just live your whole life for man. Just do something that you enjoy doing. Just do something for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, do something for yourself. Not because your marriage is going to end in divorce and you're not going to get anything from your husband, but just for you. Security as a woman. You know what I mean? This lady, she knows exactly what she's doing. I think this is just another rage bait video. I don't see why you happy you are exactly where you are and you feel the need to announce it to everyone. I don't know. But anyways, let me know what you think about this story down in the comment section below. Thank you for watching and I will see you all in my next video.